Hello guys, my name is Anna and I vlog daily from Ukraine since the start of brutal Russian invasion. And in my daily videos I try to update you on the most important things during these challenging times for my country, Ukraine. If you're new to the channel and you support Ukraine, please subscribe. But it's not always that I tell you about the news. Sometimes I love introducing you to my country, especially if I'm on a travel. And today I want to show you a beautiful open-air museum at KOLOCHAVA, which illustrates us the life of an old Carpathian village as it was a century or 2 centuries ago. I personally love such places and I hope you will enjoy my today's video. So let us imagine this is Anna's Discovery or National Geographic Channel, and now we will enter a 19th century house, traditional for Carpathian villages. It smells so well because people had a habit of putting smereka, this is a kind of a pine tree that we call, on the ground to add aroma. And these are various household utensils. And this is a bedroom, I guess. I'm sorry if the light is not perfect, but it's just the way it was in the 19th century. A bed, lots of embroidery, table. This is a real house that was brought to this open air museum to show you the lifestyle of that period. All Carpathian mountains are covered with forests, and timber production was always one of the main industries here. Of course, I don't like it because I love forests and I want all trees to live as long as they want, but it's an important part of Carpathian history. And now I will show you the equipment people used back in history to produce timber, to cut trees and do other stuff connected with that. My personal favorite is this thing, I don't know how to call it, to climb a tree. You see, it was made specifically to help a person, I don't know, balance or keep on a tree trunk. There are lots of belts they were putting on themselves to protect themselves during this period, and of course lots of instruments and axes and other stuff used to, look how big they are. Actually, that is my hand, and they are really long and really big, and they were used to cut the trees. And this is an open air class, and honestly I would like to work in such environment. I can literally imagine squirrels and bears coming to my English classes. More beautiful elements, sledges. Do you know what's that? Since my school country study classes, I know these are irons that you use to iron the clothes. Personally, I hate ironing, but it's necessary to look smart sometimes. This is a school. This is the way a typical village Carpathian school looked like, and I will be brave enough to check the bell. I'm afraid I did it. Please subscribe. First of all, to get the updates from Ukraine during this challenging time. Second, to demonstrate your solidarity with us. Third, to support us in a battle on the informational front. And fourth, learn so many beautiful facts about my country. Once again, guys, please forgive if the light is not perfect, but we are in a real Carpathian school that worked in this very village where the museum is located. It's a church school, so you see some of the church utensils too. And it worked here in the 19th century and even in the beginning of the 20th century. I love such places so much. I'm a huge museum and history fan. You might have noticed that. Let me know in comments what are your favorite museums. Look, what a beautiful lamp that used actually candles and was in one of these churches here, and a classroom, an inside classroom. It's so beautiful. Of course, it was hard to study in such schools. When reading Ukrainian history, I know teachers, priests were really harsh. No, like much bullying, I'd say. But at least access to education is really good. I don't know. Yeah, we can see there's beautiful writing things, and like we can count. I loved these counters when I was a child. I played with them better than with dolls. So very beautiful. And this is a really big house. Really big and looks pretty expensive. Can you guess what this might be? And the mountains, so beautiful. Yes, this is an inn. And some mannequins pretending they look out. This is an inn. There were lots of Jewish people in KOLOCHAVA, and sometimes inns were held by them. They were rich. They created lots of traditions connected with positive gastronomic and negative alcohol experiences. But honestly, I would love to drink some beer in such place. And this embroiders. By the way, this is a very typical embroidered carpet, typical for Carpathian mountains, and I love it. I love it. And lots of musical instruments made of expensive metals. I guess this is copper and other stuff. Really beautiful. And perhaps an office of the owner, which once again demonstrates that he lived a rich life, because you can see the contrast. Oh, that's me. Hello, in a dress. Used nice cups, maybe some silver, some records, and a possibility to wash inside. And everything looks very beautiful and very authentic. Very authentic. And even the chair and the hats, characteristic for the Jewish style of the 19th century. Very beautiful. And perhaps you won't be able to see lots of things for storing beverages, wine, and other tasty goods. Beautiful. Such a nice inn. I could imagine myself working here, or better, drinking here. But of course, not much, not much. Very stylish. And now, are you ready to see sauna? It was an important part of life in a village, and let's check it out. Honestly, I'm not a super huge fan. Oh, perhaps this is a living part. And here is sauna with all these bowels and other stuff used for cleaning body and cleaning clothes. And look, for boiling water. So many interesting details. Actually, in every room, it's possible to spend a day and still you will miss out something. And this is, if I'm not mistaken, a cradle, baby cradle. And a very traditional Ukrainian oven. They meant a lot for people. People were able to sleep on them, to cook, and to warm the house. But they are very central in Ukrainian culture and in Ukrainian houses. And I love landscapes like that. And bridges, beautiful village, KOLOCHAVA. KOLOCHAVA. This is a really big village that has this museum, and most of the buildings are taken from this very village. So they are natural to this environment, and the environment is breathtaking. A brief advertisement. We have a new launch of a beautiful collection dedicated to the Carpathian mountains. If you like our merch, go check. Interesting hoodies and all of that with beautiful designs dedicated to Hoverla, which is the highest Ukrainian mountain. The link is below in the description of the video. And now we have come to the hut of a shepherd. There are lots of sheep and cows, but also very many sheep on Carpathian mountains, and production of cheese, milk, and material out of their fur. It's okay to say fur about sheep. And oh my god, sensitive people, don't you notice house next to me? And I will show you how this hat looked. And there are lots of interesting elements that tell a lot about the lifestyle of shepherds. And by the way, we've met a couple of shepherds today. They are still working, still producing different kinds of cheese, very tasty smoky cheese. And Carpathian traditions are alive and no one will stop them. We will win this war. There are lots of beautiful things that we have to protect, and we protect. I know I have many subscribers from Australia and New Zealand and Wales, and perhaps you had similar instruments to cut sheep. I am sorry, these are halves I was talking about, and perhaps these are sacks where the cheese stays longer. And here we have more interesting mysterious elements, and a musical instrument, trimbita. It is actually the longest musical instrument in the world that produces a very beautiful mystical sound, and it was used as a means of communication between shepherds that stayed on different mountains and needed to communicate. So let's enter. And it's really small because sometimes they were used for temporarily living when during summer and spring you are in the mountains with the sheep, and most of the hut was dedicated to the production and things connected with sheep. Look at this beautiful picturesque sceneries, and let me know, do you plan to visit Carpathian mountains, Ukrainian Carpathian mountains, after we win? I greatly advise you. One of my favorite places in Ukraine and in the world. Let us see more. I love fashion. I'm sorry, I do. I'm a serious girl. But who said that serious girls don't like it? And there are lots of beautiful leather bags. Look at the detail. You can buy similar in the Carpathians, by the way. and shoes. Look at them. These were worn by someone. I so much like this history, not theoretical dates, but like, look at these ones. Maybe these are ladies' shoes. Very nice. And it demonstrates that even peasants loved beautiful decorations, and this normal lifestyle, exquisite to some extent, was a part of Ukrainian life, which shows a great difference between us and Russian orcs that still find surprising sneakers in Ukrainian houses. It was okay centuries ago for Ukraine to live a normal life. Just look at these bags and belts and belt bags. So beautiful, like you could hide money. And the detail, ornaments and leather. See how beautiful. Every detail matters. And this is for honey. By the way, Ukraine is still one of the greatest world producers of honey. And these are for the collection of honey and various beehives. When you see some of my videos in full size, you tell me that I'm taller than you expected. Honestly, I don't know how to answer such comments, but in this case, I'm taller than the owner of the house expected. And this is an old train used for the transportation of timber to other locations in Ukraine. And this is a Jewish prayer house where men and women gathered. And you see Ukraine loves, respects and cares for its diverse cultural heritage, contrary to what fascist Russian propaganda says. A really nice place with a beautiful terrace. One of my favorite houses here. Look, it seems as if it's smiling, very positive, and I love the materials, all natural. Of course, in history everything was natural, but it's so beautiful to watch and see this wood, see beautiful roof. Let's enter. It is truly beautiful inside. I did not make a mistake when I said it's one of my favorite here. Look, 19th century, Austro-Hungarian period, and oh my God, how rich all the embroidery is here. Look at this. Even the plates are so beautifully decorated. Photos. Obviously, this was the house of the head of the village. And you know, when I grow up, I want to be a writer. Everything is very beautiful here. Everything. Just an ordinary Ukrainian peasant bed in 19th century, when no one knows what Soviet Union will bring to Ukraine. Destruction, poverty, genocide. Look, ordinary people loved beauty in details, and this is what is different between Ukraine and Russia forever. We love our houses, our villages, our regions, our countries, and we take good care of all that. So beautiful. So beautiful. And this is Ukraine. I hope you enjoyed our totally improvised KOLOCHAVA museum tour. There are so many beautiful places you can discover in Ukraine, and our task is to win this war. The sooner, the better, saving lives and saving Ukrainian cultural heritage. Thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons. Introduce yourself to our merch, which is really interesting. And subscribe to my Instagram. I share more there about my Carpathian trip, to my threads, to my Twitter account, and also join the Discord community. Thank you so much for being friends of Ukraine. I love you a lot. Slava Ukraini!